Good evening. At this time, I'd like to call this meeting to order. Clerk of the board, would you please call the roll?
Certainly, Chair. Commissioner Baker?
Present.
Commissioner Garrettson? Commissioner Granados?
Here.
Commissioner Kowalski?
Here.
Commissioner Leone?
Here.
Commissioner Mirabella?
Present.
Commissioner Palmieri Mudet?
Here.
Vice Chair Hudak? And Chair Williams?
Here.
Chair, you have 7 commissioners present for the agenda-setting meeting.
Great. Clerk, would you please lead us in the prayer and the salute to the flag?
Humbly we ask God, the giver of peace and the lover of charity, to give the entire family of nations true agreement with his will, and to grant the light of his spirit on all who work for justice and peace. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Clerk, would you now please read the statement of compliance with the Open Public Meetings Act?
The Chair wishes to announce that pursuant to the requirements of the New Jersey statutes annotated, Title 10, Chapter 4, Section 10 of the Open Public Meetings Act, adequate notice of this meeting of the Board of County Commissioners of the County of Union has been given by mailing the annual meeting schedule for the year 2022, along with periodic changes necessitated by circumstance to the newspapers circulating within the County of Union who are designated to receive such notice, and by posting the annual meeting schedule for the year 2022 in the Administration Building, and further by filing the annual meeting schedule for the year 2022 with the Office of the County Clerk.
Thank you, Clerk. Before we get started with our regular business of the evening, we have a special presentation tonight, so I will invite Commissioner Mirabella, who is NJAC, New Jersey Association of Counties alternate delegate, as well as Commissioner Dr. Garrettson, who is our other NJAC delegate, to join me for the presentation. Also, we have with us John Donadio, the Executive Director of the New Jersey Association of Counties, our Union County VOTEC Superintendent Gwen Ryan, and Nick Segroy of SHI International. If you all would join me. Here. Thank you. So, as members of NJAC, the New Jersey Association of Counties, we work very closely with John Donadio to ensure that all counties in New Jersey receive the resources that we deserve, and they help kind of keep us going. And we invited John here today, our executive director, because one thing that NJAC does very well is they support our kids through their work and through other companies like SJI, like the VOTEC. So we have scholarships. We're going to make the presentation of scholarships, and we have actually several, but here tonight with us, we have Investors Foundation Scholarship recipient Joshua Sanchez, who I will call up, and we have Zoe Oliver, who is also going to be receiving a scholarship. So I'm going to turn it over to John so he can say a few words, and then also to Superintendent Ryan as well.
Great, thank you, Director. I very much appreciate the time and all of the hard work of the Board of County Commissioners, particularly Commissioner Garrettson. It's good to see you, and Commissioner Mirabella, who is also NJAC's rep for the National Association of Counties. And I love coming to Union County. I say this every time I come here because I haven't been here in a while. I'm from Union County, so I visit all 21 counties in the state, but this is still my favorite, even though I live in Somerset. Just don't tell them that I said that, but I mean that. I grew up in Hillsborough and Scotch Plains, went to Union County College, so I love coming back here, except Spiritos and Santello's is close. I was a little disappointed today. But part of really what NJAC does, in addition to the advocacy, is we have a foundation, and we have been fortunate enough to work with companies like SHI, Investors Bank, Amazon, and over the past 10 years, we've given away over $500,000 to county vocational technical school graduates who are continuing their education right here in the state of New Jersey. That's critically important to us because of the tremendous education that they can get here. We give the money, 100% of our money away is to hardworking students, and it's just it's something that I love doing, and it's because of the generosity of folks from SHI, again, Investors Bank, and all the other companies that we work with. And I think, if you don't mind, they deserve a round of applause. And that's all that I will say before I turn it over to the superintendent and then to Nick, is that every year the candidates that we get better and better and better. I see some of their GPAs. I see some of their credentials. I didn't even know you could have a 4.05 GPA. That was my GPA all 4 years in high school. So I put together, combined. So again, just a fantastic candidates that we have, and just want to congratulate all of the students and their parents for laying just a fantastic foundation for a very bright future. So great job. And thank you. Thank you for the time. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Just another thank you to the Board of County Commissioners for all of the support that they give our students and programs, and coming out to a number of graduations in the past week and so forth. We're very grateful of the support that you give our students. And we're also grateful to the New Jersey Association of Councils and Mr. Donadio. These scholarships are tremendous, and we're grateful to be able to work with partners like SHI International and Investors Bank and Amazon to be able to provide opportunities for our students. And so I'd like to introduce them, if that's okay. Are you going to introduce them?
I would like to have Nick say a few words on
Okay.
SHI first, and then we're going to go on to the students.
So then I would just like to say that they're going off to state universities and colleges, and we're so grateful to be able to have the opportunity to be able to recognize them for their career fields. Thank you for your time.
I'll keep my part short here. I'm not as well spoken as everybody here, but I'll just say, first off, thank you. I always have appreciated the partnership SHI has had within Union County, especially also with NJAC. And so I was born and raised. I live in New Jersey. I met my wife in New Jersey. Everybody I've come to meet, know, and love throughout my life. So I appreciate the opportunity to give back to the community. I myself was a scholarship recipient. I was able to go to Monmouth University based on scholarships I received. So I understand where this lands as a giving back to the community. So I appreciate the opportunity here, and it's an honor to be able to stand up here with everybody.
Okay, so I'm going to introduce our students and actually just say a couple of words about the scholarships, and then Superintendent's going to say a little bit about our wonderful students who are here. We had a couple of students who earned scholarships, who won scholarships, who were not able to attend this evening. One was Leah Sklar. She is attending the College of New Jersey, and she received an Amazon scholarship. Investors Bank, one of the scholarship recipients, Miranda Nurek, she is going to be attending Rutgers University. We also have in attendance another recipient of the Investors Bank Investors Foundation Scholarship, Joshua Sanchez from the Union County Magnet High School, and he will be attending Montclair. I'm going to have the superintendent say a little bit more about you guys. And we also have the recipient of the SHI International Corporation Scholarship. This is Zoe Oliver. She attended the Academy for Information Technology, that school in the VOTEC, and she will also be attending our state university at Rutgers. So Superintendent, you want to say a few words?
I just wanted to add their majors for the SHI International recipient. Zoli's going to major in computer science next year, and Joshua's going to major in food systems and nutrition at Montclair State. So.
Okay, so I'm going to invite Zoe to come up first. Here or here? Okay. Zoe, would you like to please come up? The most important part of the certificate is the check. vote. We'll move the check to the back for photo purposes. Okay, and everyone, please. You get in the middle here, recipient.
Everyone, shift that away. So that elections are amazing. Perfect. That's great. Ready, friends? 1, 2. Let's see. Way too dark. 2 seconds. Be patient. Way too light. The third one's going to be just right. Ready? 1, 2, 3. 1 more. Thank you. All right. Very good. Thanks.
Thank you. If you stand by, I'm going to invite up, I'm going to invite up Joshua, and then we're going to get a photo with him, and then we're going to get both of you together. Okay? So,
I'll send you guys your faces.
sure. So Joshua Sanchez, who, as I mentioned, attended the Union County Magnet High School, will be attending Montclair State University with the Investors Foundation scholarship. Will be attending Montclair State University with the, can you help me with this young man, please? Thank you. And the important part, too. So.
All right, shift again. Literally every time we do this. All right. 1 more big step that way. Thank you. At least the camera's set up. All right, ready? 1, 2. Awesome. Perfect. Thank you.
Hold on, we're not done. Would you like to take a photo with everybody looking at your camera? Look at the family. You got it? Okay, so now, Sylvie, come up. Yeah, slide down a little, and you guys stand next to each other.
All right, now everybody take like a half a step back. We're getting better. Amazing. 1, 2. Take 1 more. 1, 2. Perfect. Thank you.
So we do have wonderful students who come from our Union County Vocational Technical School under the able leadership of Superintendent Gwen Ryan. Again, we want to thank SHI International and Nick Scroy. He's having like a little tete-a-tete. And certainly John Donadio from NJAC for being here. So thanks, guys, and we're going to get down to our regular business. So if you're only here for the presentations, now's your opportunity to leave and go right to the bank. All right? All right. Thank you all. Okay.
I can hear
Okay.
you over there.
Amazing.
Okay, now we can proceed with our business of the night. At this time, I will call, and we will approve the communications and the minutes later this evening during the regular meeting. So I would like to call forward Claire Fernandez, who is stepping in for County Clerk Rajapi. Ms. Fernandez is our Deputy County Clerk.
Commissioners, good evening, everyone. We just have one item for your consideration. If there's any questions, I'm happy to answer.
Okay. Yeah, adjust the mic. Okay, I'm gonna look to my far left. Any questions? Far right? No questions. Thank you, Ms. Fernandez. Okay. And now I will ask our prosecutor, Bill Daniel. Oh, another. Yeah. Sorry, Jim.
No problem.
Our county prosecutor's office has. Go ahead.
Good evening, Chairperson, Commissioners, and County Manager. Prosecutor's Office has 2 items on the agenda tonight. If anybody has any questions, I'd be happy to answer them.
Okay. To this side. No questions. Thanks, Jim.
Thank you.
All right. Next, I will call up from the Office of the Union County Sheriff's Office, Sheriff Pete Corvelli.
Thank you, Chair. Commissioners, we have 1 item on the agenda for your consideration, and I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Okay. No questions. Thank you. I'm sorry.
Chairman?
Commissioner Baker, please.
Yeah, Sheriff, this is just a very simple kind of question, and probably more for my information than anything else. Could you explain for me, please, the nature of the maintenance contract, this Clearview Data Systems? What does this apply to?
Sure. This is our live scan. This is licensing from the state, which when we identify bad guys, we put their prints into the live scan machine. We need licensing for that to go down to the state as well as the APHIS for the country.
Okay. Thank you, Sheriff. Thank you, Chairman.
You're welcome. No other questions? Thank you, Sheriff.
Thank you, Chair.
I'd like to call up our Administrator of the Board of Elections, Nicole Dorado.
Good evening, Chair and members of the board. The Election Board has 1 resolution for your consideration this evening. I'd be very happy to answer any questions.
Commissioner Kowalski.
Good evening, Administrator Dorado. Could you, I imagine that this particular request has to do with why you're able to report results of elections so quickly. So maybe you could explain a little bit about that?
Yes, ma'am. Through you, Chair. This resolution awards a contract to Momentum Telecom, which is the provider of a private T1 line that runs between our Scotch Plains warehouse and the Union County Clerk's office. It's private. There is nobody else, no other computers, with the exception of the computers that help tabulate and program the election on that network. So what we do on election night is we're able to bifurcate the county. The western portion of the county, their USB sticks are brought to the Scotch Plains warehouse, which they are read into the election night result module, and then the eastern part of the county is read in the county clerk's office in Elizabeth. So the results on the western side are instantaneous into her system.
Thank you. And the integrity of the privacy of the votes is protected at every point, correct? Yeah.
Yes, that's correct. There's nobody else on the network line. This was awarded, the initial installation of the line was awarded through a HAVA grant fund for election security, and then the ongoing maintenance becomes the responsibility of the county.
Okay. Thank you. And thank you for the good job in the primary.
That's it.
Thank
you. Next, I'll call up Director of Administrative Services, Laura Scutari.
Good evening. The Department of Administrative Services has 8 resolutions on the agenda. I'll be happy to answer any questions.
To my left, to my right. No questions. Thank you. Next, I'll call up Deputy County Manager in charge of Economic Development, Amy Wagner.
Good evening, Commissioners. The Department of Economic Development has 6 resolutions for your consideration, and I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Okay. Commissioner Granados.
Thank you, Chair. Deputy County Manager, can you elaborate on number 2, please?
Absolutely. What this does is we have to go out to bid for who's going to be the provider of the American Job Center. And we take in the bids, and then we award to the lowest bidder. In this case, the Department of Human Services had bid for this, and they were the ones that were awarded. So this extends that contract with them, which is provided when we did the RFP, there was an ability to extend.
Commissioner Baker.
Thank you, Chairman. Deputy Director, or Deputy County Director, could you just, explain a little bit about the resolutions 3 and 4, if you will?
Yes, absolutely. We're at the end of the grant cycle for some of these, this funding. So we have a 2-year spend for the WIOA grants. So we are allowed to charge certain costs that are not normally added to the grant at the end of the cycle. So it's things like it's a calculation that is provided by finance of like overhead types of costs, like the electricity in a building or the cleaning costs. It's a variety of things that would not normally have been directly charged to the grant. So we can go back in and charge that to the grant, and it helps just close out the books at the end of the grant cycle.
All right, thank you for your explanation.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
You're welcome. Any other questions? Thank you.
Thank you.
Next, I would like to call up Joseph Graciano, Director of Engineering, Public Works, and Facilities Management.
Good evening, Chair. Good evening, Commissioners. I have 6 items on the agenda tonight for your consideration. I'll try and answer any questions you have.
Commissioner Granados.
Thank you, Chair. Just a comment in reference to number 1. That's definitely a great recognition for former
Yes.
freeholder Chester.
Yes,
For
that's
all the work he did in our county and throughout our communities. Just want to acknowledge that. Thank you, Chair.
I concur. Any other questions? Okay. Thank you, Director
Thank you, Chair.
Graciano.
Thank you.
I'll now invite up Department of Finance Director B.B. Taylor.
Good evening, Chair and members of the Board of Commissioners. The Department of Finance has 15 resolutions on this evening, and I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Commissioner Mirabella.
Madam Chair, thank you. Director, these are all grants that are being received, and it doesn't impact otherwise positively the county budget by taking in these grants, is that correct?
That is correct, sir.
And all 15 are as a result of various departments throughout the county applying for and successfully achieving and getting these grants, is that right?
That is correct. Departments apply every year and are awarded these funds outside of the county budget.
Terrific. And then each time that we get them, we have to amend the budget to accept those grants, is that right?
That is correct, sir.
Good. Thank you very much.
You are welcome.
Any other questions? I just have one, Director. Can you just say a little bit more about number 15?
Absolutely. Through you, Chair. First, that is the resolution in order to amend our budget to accommodate for the shared service that we have with the VOTEC. It's anticipated to essentially save funding for the VOTEC by bringing them onto our self-insured plan. Since we've gone self-insured, we've actually saved quite a bit of funding as a result of that because of our wellness programs as well as the oversight associated with the project. So we're expanding that program to involve the VOTEC. It is going to be a a revenue sharing item as a result of any of the savings that are achieved by the contract, and it's for a 24-month period.
Thank you. I just wanted to make sure the public was aware of that. Any other questions?
Madam Chair, just...
Yes, Commissioner Baker.
Excuse me, just one question. These grants, I think I'd like to use the term non-traditional grants because they're not, they're outside of the, although they're included in the county budget, but they're not taxpayer dollars. Am I correct on that?
They are not included in the 2022 budget. That is correct.
Okay. And these dollars are not taxpayer
They're
dollars?
not coming from our tax levy. They're coming
Yes.
from either the state or the federal government as a result of our direct efforts to apply for them.
Right. I just wanted to have the public understand that these grants are not tax dollars.
That's correct.
They're outside of that whole tax levy process.
You are
Right.
correct.
Thank you.
Yes, they're not.
Madam Chair.
They're not our county tax dollars.
That's correct.
Okay. Any other questions, comments? Okay. Thank you, Director Taylor.
You are welcome.
Now, Department of Human Services Director Debbie Ann Anderson.
Good evening, Chair, members of the board. We have, the Department of Human Services has 11 resolutions on, and I'll be happy to answer any questions.
Looking to my left. I'm looking to my right. Looks like there are no questions, Director Anderson, so thank you.
Thank you.
Next, Department of Parks and Recreation, Director Zuber.
Good evening, Chair and Commissioners. Department of Parks has 2 items on tonight's agenda, and I'll try to answer the questions.
No questions, thank you, Director Zuber. And next, standing in for Public Safety Director Andrew Moran will be Police Chief Debbie and our Health Officer Andrea Alvari. I believe Chief Debbie, you're going to be discussing in particular if there are questions from the board, the first 6 items.
Absolutely. Thank you, Commissioner. The Department of Public Safety has 10 items on this evening. I have the first 6, if there are any questions.
Any questions? Thank you, Chief Debbie.
Thank you, Chair.
Director Alvari.
So I have the rest of the resolutions.
Looking to my left. Commissioner Mirabella.
I don't necessarily have a question, but a comment that I want to say I appreciate the efforts of the Health Department, what you guys are doing at the county throughout this whole pandemic, and some of the support that you've been giving, helping some of the townships save money by doing some shared services. I know a lot of extra work has been put on your shoulders particularly, and your staff, and stretched thin, but you're rising up and finding a way to get it done, and I appreciate it. On behalf of my fellow commissioners, I'm sure they will agree. So thank you for what you're doing. And I'll note that I don't know why it takes 2 people to fill in for Director Moran, but somebody should get word to him that we've been able to cover it, but with 2 people, chief, whatever. All right, thank you very much. Keep up the good work, will you?
Okay. Director Alvari, could you just say a little bit about number 9, the lead exposure? Actually, it's just a comment. I'm just concerned that, even now, today, and this year, we still have so much lead exposure. Could you tell us, or if you have the stats, where you're finding the highest concentrations, which municipalities?
So we received the grants especially for that, to do nurse case management for anyone that tests with a high or elevated blood lead level. So for that, we're currently only servicing the 4 towns that are under our shared services agreement, which is Roselle, Hillside, Scotch Plains, and Berkeley Heights. In terms of telling you what the highest percentage, I would have to go back and look at my numbers, but I can tell you that we currently have 22 active cases that our nurse is currently following. In addition to that, we provide education and outreach in the towns to make sure that everyone is getting tests, and we follow up with every elevated blood lead level.
Okay, and then the last question, just for the benefit of the public, can you explain a little bit about the Right to Know grant?
Sure. The Right to Know, we have been receiving this for quite a while now. We are doing outreach and making sure that businesses that have chemicals in their premises report it to the Department of Health. So businesses such as laundromats, I'm spacing out. So definitely laundromats. So especially
those kind that
right.
use chemicals,
So
dry cleaners, those kinds.
Dry cleaners, right. So any business that has a chemical, they have to report it just in case there is an emergency, so first responders know how to proceed.
Okay, thank you so much. Looks like there are no further questions, but I wanted to give you an opportunity to stand here and respond, since you so graciously are filling in. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay. And now we come to, looks like, Office of the County Council. Councilman
Thank you,
Bergen.
Chair. Good evening, Commissioners. Office of the County Council has 3 resolutions tonight. I'll be happy to answer any questions you might have.
Looking to my left and looking to my right. Looks like we have no questions. Thank you so much. Okay. All of our commissioner-sponsored laudatory and condolence resolutions are from the entire board, but I'm just asking at this point, are there any comments from the board on any of these commissioner-sponsored resolutions? Looks like no comments, so may I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved, Madam Chair.
Second.
Okay, that was moved by Commissioner Mirabella, seconded by Commissioner Kowalski. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, meeting is now adjourned.